where acknowledgement receipts were submitted by the Office of the Vice President and by the DepEd Secretary then, ang dami po talagang red flags na nakita po ng committee. So unang-una ho, signature lang. Pangalawa ho, merong migrant beneficiaries. When I say migrant beneficiaries, they received funds from the confidential funds of the DepEd and they receive funds from the confidential funds of the Office of the Vice President. Other than that, there are also instances where individuals received funds many times, numerous times, from the confidential funds. Other than that, may instances din po na nakita namin na yung mga safe house na lang po na binanggit ni Chairman, parang hindi po namin masyadong maunawaan kung paano ka gagastos ng 15 million pesos per quarter on safe houses under the Office of the Vice President. Bukod pa po doon, yung safe houses na binabayaran din under Secretary of Education. So of course, documentary requirements are submitted to you. But you know, this, Mr. Chair, raised a lot of questions and red flags from my point of view. Kaya nga po, nakakalungkot na wala po dito yung mga SDO at saka si Ms. Lopez na nalaman po pala natin ay umalis po kagabi papuntang Los Angeles, California, because these are questions that they should actually be answering. Am I right, Yusek Poab? These are questions that they should be answering.
Based on the documents, Your Honor.
Based on the documents, correct, because they're the signatories to the documents. So with that being said, siguro para sa COA, tulungan nyo na lang kami. I think we need to come up with better guidelines, especially when it comes to requirements of acknowledgement receipts, so that ito pong mga pagmamagic na nangyayari ay hindi po mangyari. Dahil ang pinag-uusapan po natin dito ay pera ng mamamayan. Di naman to pera ng isang tao. Pera to ng Pilipino na dapat po natin inaalagaan.
Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair.
Congressman Abante, you're recognized.
Gusto kong malaman kung tapos ng investigasyon ng COA dito sa allowances na inyong binigay sa Office ng Vice President. Tapos na po ba lahat ng investigasyon?
Mr. Chair, dun sa notice of disallowance, inaantay pa po namin kung mag-a-appeal sila. So, hindi pa po final. Yung iba pong mga audit observation memoranda na issued po nila, nag-submit na po sila ng compliance and yun po yung mga pinag-aaralan po namin ngayon.
Okay. So, hindi pa kayo tapos, ano po?
No, Mr. Chair.
Ilang porsyento na po ang natapos nyo? For example, like, mayroon bang 50% or 60% or 70%?
Considering po na gusto nyo magpaka-strict kami today, may mga nire-re-audit po kami and hindi pa po namin ma-issue yung next, which is yung notice of suspension.
Okay. So, hindi nyo maaaring masabi kung ilang porsyento na ho, lahat?
Mr. Chair, parang tatlong ibang team members yung iba-ibang AOM, so hindi ko po masabi ngayon yung exact na yung status na po ng...
Sa mga natapos po ninyo, Mr. Chair, meron ba kayong nakitang improper disbursement o mga violations po ng disbursement ng confidential fund?
Mr. Chair, hindi ko pa po nare-review yung audit. So, hindi ko pa po masabi ngayon, Mr. Chair. Nasa auditors pa po.
Meron pa ho bang ibang pondo na aside from the confidential fund na inyo pong iniimbestigahan?
Sa ICFAO po, confidential and intelligence fund lang po kami.
Ayun lang po ang inyo
Yes,
iniimbestigahan.
Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Yung
Yun lang po
buong
ang...
bansa po.
Oo. Nakikita ko nga, ikaw yung sa intelligence and confidential fund ka lang muna. No?
Yes, Mr.
So meron bang iba dito na kasama natin sa COA na iniimbestigahan pa ang ibang mga pondo ng Office of Vice President? Maliban sa intelligence and confidential fund.
Your Honor, if I may, we have the regular audit team, which we are representing here. Regular audit team for the Office of the Vice President. Our team is here.
So, therefore, Mr. Chair, when you speak of the regular budget of the Vice President, so are you able, meron ba kayong in-issue? Did you issue any notice of disallowances on some of the regular funding of the Vice President or no?
May I recognize, Mr. Chair?
Yes,
For the
Mahat Kumawi,
audit
you're
of
recognized.
CY calendar year 2023, we have not yet issued, or we do not issue any disallowances po.
Chairman,
Yes, Congressman Paduano.
in relation to the query asked by Vice Chair Abante, gusto ko na po linawin COA. Kasi ang tanong ni Chairman Abante refers to, and your answer, I think, no, if I'm right, refers to other items. Kasi tapos na kayo doon sa notice of disallowance, di ba?
Yes, Mr.
Tapos na kayo doon.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yung sagot mo kanina, question of notice of suspension, at saka, magkaiba yun.
Yes, Mr.
Ibang items yun. Linawin na natin, but
Yung
the
ibang-
subject, sandali po, let me finish first. But the subject matter of this investigation refers to the notice of these allowances that you issued. Di ba? Magkaiba yan, boss. Tapos na sila. Tapos na sila dito. They're waiting for the reply within 6 months.
Appeal po, Mr. Chair.
And the deadline will be on?
February 2024.
Oh, yun. Again,
February
Mr. Chair,
5.
I have pointed this out during the previous hearing. Pag EUM kasi, okay, you issue an EUM for the Confidential and Intelligence Fund for the Office of the Vice President. Nag-issue kayo ng EUM and they're allowed
15 days to
15
answer.
days. After 15 days, you validate the reply, then you issued a notice of disallowance.
Notice
And,
of suspension.
A notice of suspension if continuing.
Yes,
Tama,
Yes.
di ba? Now, then after that, you issue a notice of disallowance.
Yes, Mr.
Okay,
Chair.
now, kaya ang sagot dapat doon sa tanong ni Chairman Abante, tapos na kayo.
As to yung ND po, Mr.
Kaya
Chair.
nga Kaya nga kasi ang
Opo.
subject matter dito is all about the notice of disallowance.
Opo.
And we will talk about it again if somebody will file a resolution
Ah,
to further investigate on the point that you have raised with regards to the 3 items that is not yet final.
opo.
Yung ano nyo, yung audit nyo, di ba?
Opo.
With regards to Confidential and Intelligence Fund.
Yes,
Tama.
Mr. Chair. Yes,
So
Mr.
malinaw
Chair.
po yun. That's why in aid of legislation with regards to this investigation, Mr. Chairman, again, I will just like to reiterate. Yung question of the timetable given to the agency with regards to the notice of disallowance is too long. Sabi nga nila, justice delayed, justice denied. Why it will take 6 months? Sige nga, bakit 6 months? Because they have already submitted all the necessary documents. And it turned out, in your investigation, in your audit, lumalabas na may mga problema. That's why you issue a notice of disallowance. Diba? Kaya Mr. Chairman, I hope question of the charter or MCs, no? Or even a bill or a law should be passed with regards to confidential and intelligence fund, Mr. Chairman, should be filed and passed by this Congress. Kasi, kaya nga ang question of question daw ng proprietedness of this investigation, Sa case lang po ng Confidential Intelligence Fund, we have to file a bill and pass a law with regards to it so that it cannot be abused anymore. And only those agencies of government that will be given such fund. And second is question of the COA, the mandate of COA. It should not be 6 months after issuing a notice of disallowance. It should be put as part of the provision of the charter or the mandate of COA, Mr. Chairman. Well, in fact, I will discuss later. Siguro nakapagandaan nyo na yung Memorandum Circular 97-002 in relation to the mandate of BTR, in relation to special cash advancement, in relation to the SDOs. Yun yung mga bagay na dapat we have to legislate laws. Kasi kahit yung bonding law natin, napakatagal na yun. Di ba? And memorandum circulars lang ang pinapalabas natin. In fact, may issue pa doon sa SALN. And I will discuss it later. But again, Mr. Chairman, just to point it out and for the record, question of notice of disallowance with regards to the confidential fund being tackled in this hearing was already settled. The question now is yung 6 months. Tama po? And you just wait. Because we have, again, if somebody will stand to deliver a privilege speech or file a resolution with regard to the continuing audit being made by your department, doon sa Confidential Intelligence Fund, and that's the time we will discuss again the 3 items you have mentioned. Tama?
Tama po, Mr. Chair. Na-confuse lang po ako kasi for the past how many hearings, ini-include po sila kasi yung nagtatanong tungkol dun sa subsequent AOMs. Kaya po, yun po yung nasabi ko.
And we cannot discuss it because the germane of this, of the privilege speech of the Honorable Valeriano is all about the documents you have submitted, the notice of disallowance. Tama?
Hindi lang po yun yung pinasubmit sa amin, Mr. Chair. Even 2023 po, pinasubmit sa amin.
But is it part of now the committee, the COA audit report that you have submitted? It is part of the notice of disallowance that being issued by COA?
It's a different period.
Oh,
po.
kaya nga eh. Kaya sinasabi ko, we will discuss lang muna with regards to the notice of disallowance.
Yes, Mr.
Which is, mamaya, magtatanong din ako dyan. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair.
Congressman Abante, you're recognized.
With the query of Congressman Paduano and your answer of being able to finish all the investigations, and you said that medyo na-confuse ka lamang, di ba? So, ibig sabihin, you're telling it to us now with finality that all of the investigations for the Confidential Intelligence Fund of the Vice President is already finished. That's what you're saying?
No, Mr. Chair. Yung 2022 lang po, ang ND, yun na po yung last na touch ng ICFAO po. Yung 2023 po ng OVP at 2023 ng DepEd, yun po yung ongoing ang audit.
So meron pong ongoing na investigation on that.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Kaya po
Okay.
sabi po ni Mr. Chair na yung ND lang po ang i-discuss. Kasi yung iba po, sabi po niya, ongoing pa po yung audit.
So you're giving that 6 months, no? The finished investigation and the ongoing investigation, 6 months, ganun po ba?
No, Mr. Chair. Yung 6 months is for the notice of disallowance po. Which is nasa rules po namin.
Mr. Chairman, 6 months for the office of the Vice President to comply and answer that notice of
comply.
disallowance.
Oo.
And then, commission proper na. The commission
to appeal
proper,
po.
sorry?
To appeal po, yung proper
Kaya nga,
to
yung appeal, di ba?
Opo.
Then the commission proper after 6 months,
They
will
will
decide.
rule on it po.
Pero Mr. Chair, ang sinabi niya kanina, natapos na yung 2022, di ba?
Yun po yung
Ang
subject
ongoing
ng
ngayon,
ND.
is 2023 and 2024.
Wala
So,
pong 2020.
At 124. So therefore, ano yung sinasabi niyong 6 months na notice of disallowances na kino-comply dapat ng Vice President?
Yung confidential funds po ng 2022 ng OVP, umabot na po siya sa notice of disallowance. So from the time that we issued the notice of disallowance, they have 6 months po to file their appeal with the commission proper ng COA. Yung iba pong dinidiscuss natin pertains to confidential funds ng 2023 po, hindi pa po yon notice of disallowance. Na AOM pa lang po siya, kaya hindi pa po siya comparable dun sa ND ng 2022 na subject to appeal na po.
Mr. Chair, Congressman Acop made a statement kanina about cash advances that was made. Ano? So, let me ask, ilang cash advances yon na ginawa nila?
4 po sa Office of the Vice President and 3 po sa DepEd.
And all of those are deposited sa Land Bank, correct?
Yes po, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Land Bank, did you allow cash advances? Do you allow cash advances?
Sino po ang sasagot sa Land Bank?
Is that one of the rules? Do you allow cash advances?
AVP, Ampo Sano, you are recognized.
Mr. Chair, may I be recognized, please?
Yes, Attorney Rafael Yap, you are recognized.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to apologize, but we'd like to manifest that we cannot answer the question right now because we received the invite to attend today's hearing after 4 p.m. yesterday. So we beg the committee's indulgence to allow us to provide the info once we collate and cleared po sa aming office.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion for Land Bank to submit to us all the informations on the cash advances made by the Office of the Vice President. Can you please do that, Mr. Chair?
So we will provide, Mr. Chair, we will provide the info after once cleared na po sa aming office po.
But once again, Mr. Chair, my question was not actually answered. My question is, do you allow cash advances?
Chairman.
Congressman Paduano.
Mr. Chairman, of course, cash advancement for the OBP will not be a subject of decision for the Land Bank. But siguro ang tanong is, do you allow check encashments? Do you allow? It's just a matter of policy. Do you allow?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Oh, yes. Yung check encashment. But cash advances, of course.
Cash advances.
No, check encashments. So you allow?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Chairman? Anyway, may mga tanong pa ako kasi ang susunod si Kong Micah pa.
Mika Swansing. The next interpellator is Congresswoman Mika Swansing. You're recognized.
Mr. Chair, if okay lang, with the indulgence of Kong Mika, I have a few related questions dun sa mga nabanggit din ng iba nating kasama.
Okay. Okay po sa inyo, Congresswoman?
That's okay, Mr. Chair, because my interpellation will be in a very different topic po.
Okay. Yes, the chair recognizes Congressman Manuel.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Kong Mika. Mr. Chair, sa COA din po address yung mga tanong ko dahil ilang beses na na-mention yung pag-justify ng paggamit ng confidential funds through payment for purchase of information aside sa iba pang mga binanggit na dahilan kung saan daw ginastos. Mr. Chair, yung purchase of information, isa din siya dun sa mga lumitaw na may maraming mga acknowledgement receipts na kaduda-duda actually. Kaya Mr. Chair, ang tanong ko po sa COA, nung binanggit po ng OVP tsaka ng DepEd na may mga pinagamitan, may mga taong binayaran in exchange for the information that they provided di umano sa mga ahensya na ito. Mr. Chair, usually anong mga aktibidad po ito? Maliban doon sa na-mention na yung mga Youth Leadership Summit, para daw mangyari yun, ganyan. Ano pa yung ibang mga tipo ng aktibidad under OVP or DepEd?
Mr.
Attorney Camora, you're recognized.
Mr. Chair, yung kung ano po yung nasa accomplishment report nila, yun po yung activities na pinagkakagastosan nila nung pondo po.
So, ibig sabihin, Mr. Chair, kasi yung sa OVP, for 2022, ito yung parang pahabol na nagastos in 11 days ng confidential funds. Ang activities po na ng OVP ay meron daw mga outreach program, merong mga pamahagi ng mga Christmas gifts, ganyan. Bahagi din po ba yon ng mga na-site na para maging successful ang mga yon, di umano ay kinailangan ng impormasyon kaya gumamit ng confidential funds?
Pag sa purchase of information, Mr. Chair, hindi po required kasi yung evidence of success. Required siya pag sa payment ng rewards kasi it presupposes na there could be a separate payment for the purchase of information and then separate po ulit yung reward for the success because of that information purchase.
Okay, so given that, Mr. Chair, so kung doon tayo particular sa purchase of information, yan, ano-ano pong mga aktibidad yung na-site ng OVP man or ng DepEd na kung saan kinailangan nilang gumastos for purchase of information using confidential funds?
Mr. Chair, marami po yung sinubmit ng BPSPG na list of activities ng information. And I think
sige, Mr. Chair, like ano na lang pong mga tipo ng activity, kahit hindi po ma-enumerate, pero mabanggit po ano-ano yung mga kinds of activities na iyon.
Like mga specific activities po ito, Mr. Chair, like for example, Nights of Rizal Supreme Council noong December 15, consultation with Barangay Chairman ng Maynila ng December 17, and then
Sorry, Mr. Chair, pwede po paulit para lang po mas malinaw. Ano po yung una tsaka yung pangalawang nabanggit?
Yung una po, unahin ko na lang po dito based sa listahan. December 13, Department of Education 2022 Partners Appreciation Night in Mandaluyong. And then December 15, Knights of Rizal Supreme Council 60th Year of Institute in Baguio City Youth Campaign on Patriotism. And then December 17, marami po itong activities, mga Christmas activities sa Tondo, consultation with Barangay Chairman ng Maynila, in Manila, pasasalamat and update meeting with Barangay Batasan Hills, Quezon City, mga halos ganito
Okay.
po. And then coordination meeting with Task Force Davao in Davao City, and then Christmas activity with SPED students in Davao City. Mga ganitong nature po.
Okay. Mr. Chair, how about yung 2023 for OVP?
At 2023, Mr. Chair, ongoing pa po yung audit, so hindi ko pa po nakita yung list ng activities po nila.
Okay. Mr. Chair, how about 2023 DepEd? Liban dun sa mga Youth Leadership Summit.
Yung sa Youth Leadership Summit, yung sa 5 certifications po yun. Pero hindi po yun yung activity ng DepEd.
Precisely, Mr. Chair, kaya gusto nating malaman, maliban doon, kasi lumitaw na dito sa committee na sinight yun ng DepEd, pero i-dispute din pala ng Philippine Army na gumastos yung DepEd for that. So, meron bang ibang mga DepEd activities na yun yung sinasite pa ng DepEd na ibang pinagamitan ng kanilang confidential funds?
Ito po yung based on their acknowledgement receipts, meron pa silang abuse prevention and control within schools, anti-extremism / terrorism programs, anti-illegal activities operations, counterinsurgency. Yun po. And then under each activity, yun na po yung payment of rewards, payment of information. Yun po yung content nung acknowledgement receipts nila and yung accomplishment report po.
Tapos meron din pong mga naka-attach na acknowledgement receipts para dun sa purchase of information para sa mga yon.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Mr. Chair, dun sa purchase of information, kasi bago pa man nag-grant ng confidential funds sa DepEd at sa OVP, edi nag-grant na sa iba pang mga ahensya. Tapos kapag purchase of information, edi parang wala namang niyang isang rate lang. So, Mr. Chair, usually, pag nakakarating na sa COA yung mga acknowledgement receipts or kung ano mang ebidensya, ano po ba yung range usually kapag merong mga nagpapasa ng ganong mga like proof na ginastos daw for purchase of information? Ano po yung kadalasang range kapag purchase of information yung pinagkagastosan?
Mr. Chair, iba-iba po kasi depende sa agency and depende sa budget nila.
So, Mr. Chair,
wala pong definite na masabi na this range to this range.
sige. So, kapag ganun, Mr. Chair, pwede din siya maging discretionary kasi ibig sabihin kung ano yung tansya ng mga officials na yun yung amount na necessary para ma-entice isang tao to provide information.
Part po nung cash advance na documents na sinasubmit nila is a physical and financial plan. So somehow dun sa PFP na breakdown na po doon kung ano yung sa tingin nila pupuntahan nung pondo po.
Okay.
So yun yung plan. And then later on, yung accomplishment report is yung actual kung saan po nila na-spend yung pondo.
So yung plan, chine-check yun ng COA bago aprobahan na, sige, i-grant yung confidential funds for that agency.
Yes po. Sa cash advance po.
Okay. Thank you po dun sa mga sagot, Mr. Chair. Kasi kung ganun nga yung lumilitaw na parang madali pa lang mag-imbento ng proof of payment. Lalo na based dun sa mga pinakita kanina, meron pa mga visual na pagpapakita sa ating mga kababayan na kung merong kahit sinong opisyal, lalo na kapag nasa matataas talaga ng mga antas, kung dumating sa punto na gustong gamitin yung pera ng bayan para sa sariling interes o sa mga masasamang balak, ay madali talagang malusutan yung current na systems na meron tayo na supposedly ay dapat nga lalo kung nagbibigay ng confidential funds, ang assumption dyan ay merong kumpiyansa or confidence dun sa kung kanino o sa ang ahensya nag-grant ng pera. Pero it seems na lalo pa kung purchase information yung isang madalas na isite, Mr. Chair, ay malaki yung room for discretion para magsabi lang halimbawa na okay, ganitong amount, bibigay ko sa ganitong tao kasi nagbigay siya ng information. Pero hindi rin, wala tayong sapat na batayan para masabi na naging effective na accomplish ng ganong mga purchase of information yung kanilang intent. And so to wrap up, Mr. Chair, lalo na I can really recall na noong 2022, dun pa lang nung formally na bahagi ng budget proposal ng OVP tsaka DepEd, yung confidential funds, ay ginagamit pa actually yung bahagi ng ating constituency, mga kabataan at mga bata, para i-protect di umano yung kanilang interest, i-defend yung kanilang welfare, protektahan daw sila mula sa mga gumagamit ng droga, child abusers, child exploiters. Pero as it seems, Mr. Chair, I don't think merong mga members ng committee who are actually convinced na na protektahan natin yung mga bata at mga kabataan dahil sa pag-grant ng confidential funds both sa OVP tsaka sa DepEd. So I really hope na maliban sa mapigilan na natin yung ganitong abuso sa confidential funds, yung mga hindi rin talaga nagpakita na katiwa-tiwala sila sa paggamit ng pondo, dapat hindi na natin mahayaan na magkaroon ulit sila ng access sa ganitong pondo, lalo na pera ito ng ating mga kapwa Pilipino. Pinaghirapan, nagbabayad ng buwis para sa pinagbabudgetan ng Kongreso. Yun lang, Mr. Chair. Maraming salamat.
Thank you, Congressman Manuel. The next interpellator is Congresswoman Mika Swansing.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Congressman Zia.
With the indulgence of Congresswoman Swansing, the permission, of course, of my lead colleague, I'd just like to make a manifestation, a quick manifestation, Mr. Chair.
What is your manifestation?
Yeah, Mr. Chair. Well, apparently, I shared the disappointment of some of the members here. I, for one, want to ask questions, to certain individuals, invitees who apparently are not around. So I noticed we're hitting a roadblocks here, by their consistent refusal to attend these committee hearings. But then again, Mr. Chair, may I request perhaps to the chairman? I believe we have already sent an invitation to the DBM. Yes, and the questions that I have, Mr. Chair, is on not only on the utilization of the confidential funds, but as well as the manner by which these are being requested from DBM, how it was requested, when it was requested, Mr. Chair. So I believe, Mr. Chair, if with the indulgence of this committee, that I would also like to reiterate the invitation that we have sent already to DBM, particularly, Mr. Chair, on the Bureau on Budget Management, that's DASI, because I noticed the request from the OVP has been made through this office, and the correspondence between the OVP and the DBM is also between the Office of the Budget Management Bureau, DASI, and as well as the budget officer of the OVP. So if I may request, Mr. Chair, that by next time, we also send an invitation on this particular bureau under the office of under the Department of Budget and Management, so that for this humble representation, should there be any non-attendance again of the individuals that we are requiring them to attend in the next committee hearing, at least I have somebody to ask for clarification, Mr. Chair. So again, that would be my simple manifestation. I'd just like to put that on record, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman Adjong. The COMSEC, please take note of the manifestation of Congressman Adjong.
Noted,
Yes.
Your Honor.
Congressman Mika, please proceed to your interpellation.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, if with the indulgence of the chairman, I would like to move to a different topic. So throughout the hearing, we've been talking about the confidential funds and how the OVP has dispersed the confidential funds. But with the indulgence of the chairman, I would like to move to looking into the regular funds and the disbursement of the regular funds of the Office of the Vice President.
Please
Mr.
proceed.
Chair. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, if I may I request the COMSEC to please flash some slides. I prepared some slides to illustrate the figures in terms of the pattern of expenditure of the Office of the Vice President from the years 2021 to year 2025 as proposed in the National Expenditure Program. Mr. Chair, I would like to highlight a couple of things on this slide. Before I start, I would like to put some caveats. I was able to